always tell people I come across that a community raised me. A community raised me. My academics is number one. The first thing that brought me to school. Wow. See if I may get the point you mentioned. One thing I'll say is set your priorities right. Welcome everyone to our first FYB Spotlights, where we bring our final year students to share us their experience, how it has been from 100 level down to this point. I am Ibukolo Abambe, your host for today FYB Spotlight, and here with me is
Adeniro Esther.
Welcome, ma.
Thank you.
I want you to tell us more about yourself, like your level, your career field, and also your department.
Okay. I'm from the Department of Project Management Technology, currently in 500 level. Yes, I'm in my final year. And my career, I function as a project manager and also a programs manager.
Wow, can you see that big title, project manager? Oh my god. So, ma'am, people know about you, about your impact. So, can you tell us the story behind you as a person? What's the story, that impact behind Esther Adin?
Okay, I would actually say what actually pushed me towards making impact, even in university, it started back at home because I always tell people I come across that a community raised me. So I always, when I take a look back at the community that raised me and I get to uni, seeing every student, I always want to ensure that in as much as a community has raised me, I also want to be there in the story of almost every student that I come across. So that has actually been the push, is the fact that the community raised me, I also want to raise others.
Wow, what an inspiring story. Because the community is, and because of that, that drives you to also what back for that. So now our next question is, I know you're a leader in the church. I also know that you're maintaining the first class. And I also know that you're a project manager, work a lot, you are very adult. Why do you not manage everything? Because many people today in the fellowship, they are actually confused. Like, how will I balance my academics? How will I balance my leadership in the church? How will I balance everything? And then they are confused. But can you tell us, how do you manage to balance everything and still be effective in each and every one of them?
That is actually a big question. I think I always get that question every time. But the first thing I always tell myself is that each and every one of these particular field is very important. My academics is number one, the first thing that brought me to school. My spiritual life also is another thing, and working for God is very important. And I also need to work. Yes, I also need to work because my field requires me getting experience before I leave the university campus. So balancing everything is me just telling myself that these three things is actually important. So what I just do is that I ensure that I give priority to those three things based on when they come. Once it's close to examination, I give more priority to my academics. Once it's at the beginning and the middle of the semester, I give more priority to the work that I do. But my spiritual life is something that I cannot say I want to give priority to at different times. It actually has to come in. But I feel proper communication and also having a community of like-minded students also that do these three things together has actually helped me great. They have served also as a form of motivation for me. Thank you.
Wow. See if I may get the point you mentioned. One thing I'll say is set your priorities right. You like at every point, okay, what is important at this point? What is not important at this point? And what should I focus more at this point? Because you said at the first three, like the first beginning of the semester and the middle of the semester, you focus more on your career, like in your project and your work, right? And then maybe towards the end of the semester, you focus more on academics. But spiritual growth is something that will stay and make sure that no matter what, my spiritual growth is there. And you have the community that you can reach out for assistance and reach out for help in case you need help, right?
Yeah.
Wow. Hope you're taking notes.
Thanks so much. Okay, so the next question is your journey so far. How has God brought you? Like, how's your faith helped you?
Okay, I would actually say my faith has helped me in various ways. Yes, it has actually helped me in various ways. During the times when all I just needed was actually a word. So most of the times when I'm in the fellowship, it might be during the time of prayers, it might actually be during the time of the message, it might be from the TS or pastor on campus, just a word. Most of the times it's just the solution that I need. So that is basically how my faith has actually helped.
Just really good to just so what are those things where God says, I need something that seems a little way to experience. What do you do at that point?
At this particular point, what I do is that I actually keep reminding myself that those times that God is silent is a time, what he's doing is that he's preparing something bigger for me, and it has actually been, I've seen it come in practical ways. Sometimes where it seems as if, I'm asking for, let's say, an upgrade in my CGPA, and it seems as if, the one I got at this particular point, I keep getting that word that what is actually giving me is something bigger. So during the time that is silent, what I just keep telling myself is that what is bringing for me next is bigger. So that's just how I've been able to overcome those times when it seems as if God is silent. And also the community of believers and the word of God has actually been my anchor during those periods.
The community of believers and just open this, and it really shows that something bigger is going. And you mentioned about GGP. So from 100 level to 100 to 500. But these are courses that are so difficult. Like, can I even do those courses? Can I even pass this course? Or how do you even do those times in China?
Yes, I think there were actually those times. So most of the coping mechanism I used, I remember coming into 100 level as a science student, and we had to offer financial accounting. It was really something difficult for us, everybody in my department, because you don't have a financial accounting background, and I just come and just read. I just picked the book, went to the Lord in prayers, and then I just told God that this is this course. It's actually occurred in 2 times also. I remember financial accounting, 200 level, cost accounting, and some other law courses too, in addition to the science courses I'm offering in the department. So what I just do is I take it to God in prayer, and I soak myself in those courses. So when I'm reading those courses, I read those courses as if I'm that particular student. I'm a commercial student. So I soak myself in those courses because I know the promises that God has given me that I will pass, and it has actually always worked for me. When my results come out, that's always been excellent because I do not take it as difficult at all. I just assume that this is what God wants me to do at this particular point in time, and I just put myself into those courses.
So we should take the courses into God's hands. They soak ourselves in it. So you know that say, God, I've got this course to you, and then since I've got this course to God's hands, let me just leave it, God, I will take charge. But not just that, you also soak yourself in it. You took that same years and conscious spirit, and you took them. So those that actually advocate for success, you know what to do now. Not just take it to God in prayers, but also put in more effort to that course. Now, the next question is, so can you tell us what structures and what systems do you use to make you balance your skill work? What are those systems structures?
Okay. I would actually say the systems and structures I use was actually having my routines. Like there are some things I don't give excuse to. Yes, let me put it that way. There are some things that when I know I need to do them, I don't give excuse to it. Even though it seems as if there will be some constraints, yes, there will be some constraint of maybe lives, constraint of data, constraint of feeding, but once I just put myself into that, this is what I'm going to do, and I have a routine that, okay, on Mondays, my focus is work. On Tuesday, let's say my focus is learning a skill. So I already have my mind is already changed to that. So I go to anywhere I can have access to electricity or data in the school, in the library, in the hall, anywhere, just to ensure that that particular thing that I've set aside to do for that particular week actually works. And another thing is that I don't ensure that my schedule is so long. In a day, just ensure that you only have three things that you want to achieve in a day, in a week, in a semester. Everything, don't have long list of things that you want to do as a student. It might just be just three things per day and ensure you do that. And also your improvement should not just be big. A little bit of improvement, a little bit of, oh, at least this one sentence or this calculation, I understand it. Or I can be able to do this particular skill I'm learning. It should actually help.
Add a routine. And in those routines, you just jump up a lot of activities. Which are like giving you just three important things I do that makes my achieve my long term goal. Like, just make sure you do those three important things. And also, you also said that even though it's because some people like I must achieve this, they'll put this, they'll put that, and they'll maybe like consider their little efforts. So we're also telling them that even though no matter how little it is, or no matter how many minutes or how many hours you spend on that thing, like even though you just need to just put it, like just count it as something.
And ensure you're making progress.
Also achieve progress. Thank you so much. I really appreciate your time in this moment. So I want to ask some few basic questions. Number one, morning study or night study, which one do you prefer?
I would say I do the two, depending on the scenario or the case scenario. I don't have a perfect method of studying. But I think most of the times I do the day in the library and then I use the nights, because the nights you have high bandwidth of internet. So anything I want to do online, I do it listening in the night. Then during the day I make it offline. And I use two depending on the time and which one comes as a priority. So I do use it.
It's night study, night hour, also day study. And also another question is you prefer digital notes or handwritten?
I prefer handwritten.
Same way.
I prefer handwritten.
Yeah, handwritten. Handwritten is like I express yourself more, but like you can express yourself more like digital notes. And do you also pray before reading or after reading?
Most of the times it's before.
Yeah, so God will just take charge and and the last question is, what's that one book every student should read?
Okay, actually, I would love every student to read Deep Work by Carl Newport and Carl Newport and Good Morning Holy Spirit by Benny. It's very important.
So it's spiritual book also
yes, it's a self-help book.
okay, the personal development. So make sure you read that book, don't just hear it. Okay, so now for our final question, what would you like to tell our students watching this today? What's that final word you like to tell them so they can take it over there?
Okay, what I would actually want to tell all students is that the university is a big world where you can grow and also improve on yourself. So ensure that you maximize every opportunity that you have to grow. Don't waste time. Time is very precious. Use every time you have in your disposal to grow and also improve on yourself.
Maximize every opportunity and manage it. Thank you so much, man, for joining us in this series. You're welcome.
Okay, so I hope you learned a lot in this series, and thank you so much for staying to this time and watching this episode. Join us next time on our next FYB Spotlight, and I'm sure it's going to be very interesting. Bye.